Hey. Jen Patero here on Sunday, January 23rd. Holy moly, we're almost through this month. And it's now been 10 whole weeks, 2.5 months since my UFE fitness competition. And I'm feeling good. It's been a good week, all things considered. I'll share a little bit about what's gone on at the Patero household, and I'll share some of my updates. But before I do that, I got thinking, last week I shared with everybody the fact that I was in a negative swirl and I've been faced with challenge. And I shared sort of how I'm overcoming that challenge and refocusing my brain on my word of the year, growth, to have more of a growth mindset. And that's great. I shared what I'm doing, but I thought it might be useful to share how I go about making that change, if that makes sense. Like how my brain works in such a way to get out of that funk, because it might be of use to some people because I feel like we're all potentially there, and it may not be your diet, it may not be your fitness, may not be your health and wellness, might not have it be related to that in any way at all. It could just have something to do with the fact that we've been living in a pandemic for 2 flipping years, and that in itself has been a challenge. It's been a challenge because there's no consistency. There's no routine. The only constant piece about the last 2 years is that there's been so much change. Change in the way that we're working, change in the way that our kids are being educated, change in the way, who's at home and who's not at home at certain times. And that throws you for a loop, and it's a challenge. And even if you don't maybe think that it's a challenge, I feel like it can be, because it's not normal. It's taken us out of our routine. So just that in itself can send you into a bit of a negative spiral in your head, and you may not even acknowledge that you're there until months down the road. Anyways, so I just thought it might be useful to share not just what my plan is and how I've shifted, but sort of the thought process and mindset that I take. It's just me, like this is just what I do, but I thought that it might be of use to share, because I really feel like the first piece of it is to identify the fact that you're there, that you are in a state of challenge. Nobody goes through life, their entire life, without facing any adversity or challenge. If you do, wow, I'd love to hear that story. I've yet to meet anybody for whom that is the case. And honestly, life would probably be pretty boring if you were just in a glorious, happy place. And I would argue that you're not growing as a person. Like you will just stay the same. Or even worse than that, be on a bit of a decline, because there's nothing challenging you, stimulating you, pushing you to get better, do better, be better. So we all face challenges at some point, whether it be part of the pandemic or not. We all face these challenges. And again, it's how you respond to that that's going to determine the outcome. So first and foremost, you have to acknowledge the fact that your mindset is in a more of a negative place, or that you are swirling. And that may be because you yourself identify it, or it might be that somebody taps you on the shoulder, hey, kind of noticing you're a little bit off, or something, everything okay? People asking you and bringing it to your attention, and you embracing that and trying to take that and flip it into a positive is the name of the game, right? To help you become a better person, stronger person, and grow as an individual. Or at least that's the way I think. That's the way I want to go about living my life anyways. So acknowledging it and then talking about it, like sharing with your friends, your family, a coach even. I know I've certainly shared with my coach, and I have most certainly shared with a lot of my girlfriends, the challenges that I face as I face them. And it feels good to get that off of your chest and release it. That in itself, I feel, is very therapeutic. But also, they provide some pretty awesome insight and feedback to you and suggestions and things that make you think, okay, that's a very good point. And maybe I should be thinking about things that way, not the negative way that things swirl around in your brain. We can be so harsh and nasty to ourselves. We're our own worst critics. And a lot of that self-talk, or at least for me, at times, needs to be shifted into a more positive self-talk. Don't be so hard on myself. So talking about it with other people certainly helps. And then, it's shifting, using that and shifting your self-talk to be more positive. Think about instead of focusing on the negative and the challenge, think about all of the wonderful things that you've done to get there. I mean, if your life was going on tickety-boo, very constant, not really any interruptions, pretty status quo, you might not have the challenge. It's when we try to do better, we try to live bigger, we try to live life to its fullest, push ourselves. That's when we, may face challenge. So applaud yourself for taking that leap, for going above and beyond, for doing what it is that you're doing, because I bet you there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't do that, wouldn't take on that risk or attempt the things that you're attempting that created the bit of a challenge. So celebrate the wins, celebrate getting to where you're at. Acknowledge that you're in a challenging phase, and then put a plan in place as to how you're going to take that challenge and learn from it, grow from it. There's always an opportunity within that challenge to improve, right? To get better, to grow and push forward. So that's just sort of how my brain thinks about these things. And if I layer on top of that, not just celebrating the success that I've had, layer on top of that my why. My family, like, why is it I'm trying to get so healthy and fit? It's to be a better mom. It's to be a better wife, a better friend, a better employee. So remembering all of the reasons that you made the decision to do what it is that you're doing will most certainly put you in a good frame of mind to push forward and grow and get better, not just for you, but for everybody around you. And I know sometimes we may even feel selfish. That's a topic of another discussion maybe someday. But I would argue it's not selfish at all to take some time and focus on you, because it makes you better for those around you, which, like, that is my why. That's why I do what I do every day. So really, really focus on that, and even put yourself in a frame of mind. Think about where you were. Like, quite often I'll think about where I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Again, thinking about how far I've come. Everybody's the same, I'm sure. Like, think about how far you have come, and that you don't want to, you worked so hard to get where you are. You don't want to go back to where you were. We want to grow and improve and get better and push forward. So, I don't know, just try and think, I guess, of some of those things. Your why, and really focus on celebrating the wins and the successes. So for today, I'm going to tell you that my scale weight is up. And I'm celebrating it because when I look at my body, I got a little more junk in my trunk, and that's good. It's funny because I, at one point, was kind of worried. Oh my goodness, I'm going to lose my bum. I'm going to have a flat bum. I'm going to lose all this weight, and where's my bum going to go? Well, it's coming back. Happy to say. Same with my chest. I didn't know if it would ever come back. It's coming back. So I'm choosing to celebrate those two wins, shall we say, for right now, because I'm getting healthier. I know I'm healthier, but it's hard to measure that. So I'm going to choose to celebrate some of these wins that I can see from the outside. And I wish I could tell you that I could celebrate some big gains in the gym, but unfortunately this week, my house got bit by the COVID bug. So, oh my gosh, what day was it? I think Wednesday, my son tested positive that he was contagious. So just a rapid test. I have since tested positive, rapid test. My husband and now my daughter's down and out. She's feeling pretty lousy. So it did hit us, but again, didn't kill us. It's making us stronger. And again, it's another challenge, things we have to overcome and get through. It hasn't really been, it's felt like we've had a bad cold or flu, really. But feeling better today and every day getting better. Yeah, so that's that. I will give you a very quick update though. Put on my old lady glasses because I don't have my contacts in today. There we go. So this past week, from macronutrient perspective, I was consuming 175 grams of fat, 160 grams of protein, 15 grams of carbs. Total caloric intake, 2,275 every day. And at the start of this week, believe it or not, I believe on Sunday, why won't this let me scroll over? I weighed 128.6. This morning I stepped on the scale, I'm 128.2. So I believe if I rewind to last week, I was pretty constant at 127 pounds. This week, I bumped it up. Like I say, I'm getting my booty back. Put on about a pound at 128.2 pounds. Life is good. Life is good. Reverse dieting out, getting healthier, cranking up my metabolism, and improving my hormonal health. So life is good there. And that's really it. That's really all I wanted to share for today. I kind of wanted to touch a little bit on my kids and low carb life, keto life with kids. It is certainly not easy. It is very much doable, and it's really been worth it for my family. But maybe that will be the topic of next week's discussion as well as an update. I'll maybe highlight some of the things that we do around here to keep it low carb for the kiddos. Anyways, thanks so much, guys, for all of your support. Like I say, that's a huge part of this positive growth, mindset and shift and change, is having that support. So thank you so much for that. I get as much out of this and our discussions one-on-one, talking to you guys about this, as I do any friends and family. So thank you so much, guys. And enjoy what's left of the weekend and the rest of your week. I will chat again next week. Take care. Bye for now.